What's going on, people? Myke C-Town here with our Dead in Hip Hop solo album review, and today I'm going to talk about the newest album from Dessa entitled Chime. Dessa is a rapper, singer, songwriter who's part of the great Doomtree Collective, one of my favorite hip hop collectives in the scene right now, and this is her fourth full-length solo album. And what's really fascinating is over her past 3 albums, she's had a really interesting journey. She's always been a great MC with a really good singing voice, but I always felt like it needed just the right backing tracks to really bring it to life. And I've really enjoyed her rhymes over the years, and it's been interesting to watch her put out these albums that are so varied. And she seems to have been moving from more hip-hop centric material to something that's closer to an alternative R&B sound, which I'm totally fine with because it's always been Dessa's words that interest me the most about her. How she delivers them has been a bit secondary. So this album starts off with Ride, this very airy instrumental with Dessa's silky smooth voice that slides in perfectly with it. And this is a song that has this tense buildup that gets more and more intense as the song progresses. One that gives you such an anxious feeling that really gives you a nice intro to this album. And as always, we're hit with some amazing lines. Looks like gender's over, race came back, faith is a hammer with a book for a handle. The poignant sarcasm here with the implication that gender issues are now gone, race issues have returned as if it ever left, and the idea that people can use their faith as a weapon. Her use of words are fascinating as always. The next song, 5 out of 6, a great song with an almost electro beat that again works perfectly with her blend of rapping and singing, and I especially dug this line. And I'm running a tight ship. Every deckhand here has a 5-year plan and an ice pick. They can write code, they can drive stick. I got an octave on you and a high kick. That's some high class flexing. I also really like the line, I'm the phoenix and the ash, which is in the chorus. How she can see herself as the ash that's been left over by the fire, but also as the phoenix that rises from the ash. You know, maybe a testament to us, becoming stronger from our tribulations. Fire Drills is a song that has one of my favorite instrumentals on the album. These great upbeat drums and a sample that sounds like maybe a mandolin. And the story of how this song came about is really interesting. I'll try to link it down there if I remember. The song itself deals with how women are told to deal with issues they face in the world today. The idea of telling a woman to keep herself safe and to be smart out here, which seems to be more of a consistent narrative than telling men to stop attacking women. This whole idea that a woman shouldn't have to stay inside or behave a certain way or wear a certain outfit in order to just be safe. And I think this line speaks volumes. Like, the big win is not a day without an incident. I beg to differ with it. I think a woman's worth, I think that she deserves a better line of work than motherfucking vigilance. Don't give me vigilance. That's an amazing way of saying that women deserve more than having the burden of being safe always placed on them. And the instrumental during this part of the song is just so powerful. The way the beat hits, it makes you really pay close attention to the words that she's speaking here. Good Grief is probably my favorite song on the album. This is an example of the type of instrumental that fits her voice absolutely perfectly. The vibe of this song is so appropriate to how Dessa's voice hits, as well as the words she's laying down. They say there's good grief, but how can you tell it from the bad? Maybe it's only in the fact good grief's the one that's in your past. The whole idea that grief is only good when it's done. And I've been a person to say that I wouldn't be here had I not gone through some of the rough shit that I've went through in my life, but it's just so interesting how Dessa takes the phrase good grief and uses it to discuss the idea of what could possibly make grief good, especially when so many of us are constantly putting in work to ensure that our current situations are improved or as great as they can possibly be. It's such a simple thing on the surface that becomes really deep when we really sit down and actually think about it. Half of You is another great song. Speaks of something that I know most of us have been through in our life. The whole idea of not feeling whole because of the loss of a past romantic partner, or not knowing if you'd be happier having it never have happened at all, or if still having the idea of what once was with that person is actually better. And there's a really interesting article where she's discussing how she went to a professional, I believe it was a therapist, to actually get that idea removed from her head by tricking her brain. It's a very interesting thing. I'll try to remember to link that down there as well. But what she's doing with her voice here is absolutely beautiful, especially on the chorus. It's very poppy and it can easily get stuck in your head. I Hope I'm Wrong is a great closer to this album. It's a beautiful song about her grandmother who passed. And Dessa, from what I can tell, is not really a religious person, but she's saying in the song how her grandmother told her how she would watch over her from heaven. And Dessa is saying that she hopes she's wrong in thinking that this isn't a possibility. It's a really touching song, and while personal, it's always great when songs about loss can be used by the listener to relate to their own personal situations. And this song can definitely do that. This, to me, seems like the album that Dessa's been working her entire career to make. It seems like it's the perfect combination of what she's done in the past and where her mind is right now. The thing is, the album seems to be such a great culmination of the ideas that she's been building upon since her debut, since her fucking first mixtape actually, and the result is a hip-hop tinged pop album that's undeniably Dessa. Extremely warm, at times very heartbreaking, occasionally playful, but totally human. To some, it's the reflections of a woman speaking on her experience in a male-dominated industry. To others, it's a woman speaking on her experience in a patriarchal world. To others, it's a very well put together combination of both. Either way, it's easily listenable, extremely impassioned, and highly relatable. It's almost like how she talks about in 5 out of 6. Dessa has been through it. She's been broken down, whether by her own choice or by the elements around her, or even a combination of both. And she's been built back up to emerge as an incredible new artist. One with elements of her former self, but clearly something new. One that seems comfortable and altogether confident in her sound. A confidence that we've seen glimpses of, but it's never been this clear. And that confidence and her incredible artistry come together, and it makes a damn good album. Easily one of the best projects that I've heard this year. So that's it. Let me know what you guys have thought. Drop some comments in the comment section down there. And as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace. Bye.